Hello, today I would like to introduce to you inversion. Okay, in a normal sentence, we usually put subject before the verb in a statement. For example, I have never felt so shocked by human carelessness. However, sometimes you can see sentence looking like this. Never have I felt so shocked by human carelessness. This is called what we call inversion. Okay. We usually use inversion because we want to emphasize something or we want to make the sentence more dramatic. Okay, I'll show you two examples. In this cartoon, one of the characters is saying, and off walked the dragon into the sunset. This sentence is actually dramatizing in the story. When you look at the other sentence, never have I heard such a ridiculous story. This sentence is using inversion to emphasize. Okay, let's take a look at one sentence, how we do inversion. We usually use inversion in statements that begins with negative adverbs. What are negative adverbs? There are some examples like seldom, rarely, little, or never, and there are some more. So the normal sentence is, we rarely think about our garbage after we have thrown it away. If we want to use inversion, the sentence will become, rarely do we think about our garbage after we have thrown it away. So this is a normal sentence. This is an inversion sentence. Now I'll teach you how to make an inversion sentence. Please take a look at these sentences. Seldom have I worked so hard in my life. Never have I experienced such cold weather. Rarely do we start working before 9 in the morning. They are all inversion sentences. So first of all, I would like you to pay attention to the first word in each sentence. The first one is seldom. The second one is never. The third one is rarely. What are they? Yeah, they are adverbs. And they are actually negative adverbs. When we're using inversion, we usually put negative adverbs in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, after that, we will have the auxiliary verbs. So in the first sentence, it's have. In the second sentence, it's have again. The third one, we have do. They are called auxiliary verbs. And followed by the subject. In the first sentence, the subject is I. In the second one, the subject is I again. And in the third one, the subject is we. Okay, so that's the order in an inversion sentence. Negative adverb, auxiliary verb, subject. Alright, so there are other negative adverbs like never, rarely, seldom, little, hardly, so on and so forth. I would like you to look at the other two examples. One is, little does he know who is waiting for him. So, again, we put negative adverb in the beginning of the sentence, followed by auxiliary verb, followed by the subject. Okay, take a look at this one. Under no circumstances is the adverb, and must is the modal verb, followed by subject. Okay. So here I have 3 sentences. They are all wrong sentences. Could you please find out what's wrong with the sentence? I'll give you 1 minute. Alright, time's up. I'm sure you noticed something is incorrect in the sentence. These are the answers. In the first sentence, the subject and the verb should be swapped because the verb should come before the subject. And in the second sentence, the auxiliary verb did is missing in the sentence. If you look at the original one, little they knew he was a spy. This is the negative adverb, but there is no auxiliary verb in between the negative adverb and the subject. So we have to put did in between. Same with the third sentence. Seldom we see each other. There is no auxiliary verb in between negative form and subject. So we need to put do or did. Look at the last one. On no other day would the weather be so good. What's wrong with the sentence? It's actually correct. So there are other exceptional cases. For these two negative adverbs, the usage is a little bit different. Let's take a look at one example of not only. The sentence is, not only the sun came up did we stop drinking. Remember what we said before? After negative adverb, there should be auxiliary verb and then the subject. But in between the auxiliary verb and the negative adverb, you can find this part. The sun came up, right? Okay, and the other one is the sentence starting with only. Look at this sample. Only in Mataro do they have such traffic problems. Only, just now we were talking about negative adverbs, but is only a negative word? Okay, let's take a look at the explanation. Not until the sun came up. Not until has to be followed by something in order to make it look like an adverb. That's why we need this part, the sun came up. So not until cannot stand or used by itself. We cannot say not until did we stop drinking, but we have to add the sun came up in order to make it look like an adverb. That's why you can find this part after not until. And for only, because only excludes other possibilities. Only this, but not the others. So it is negative. Alright, I would like you to try to make inversion sentences by using only and not until. Have you finished? These are the answers. Okay, so far we have finished inversions starting with negative adverbs. Let's look at the other inversions. We can also use inversions in short answers, starting with so, neither, nor, as, or such. Let's look at examples. For example, I'm a plumber. Really? So am I. And we can also use inversions in conditional sentences. For example, had I known it, I'd have left the room. So this is the end of the presentation. Thank you.